This is Gemara Baba Basra, Daf Yud Zayin. We're holding the last line of Tezayin Amud Beis Baruch Hashem. Another exciting day in the world of Daf as we wrap up the first parak of Baba Basra, parak Hashutafin. Says the Gemara on the bottom of Tezayin Amud Beis, Tanu Rabbanan Shleisha Timan HaKadosh Baruch Hu B'Olam Hazeh. There were three people that Kadosh Baruch Hu gave them a taste in this world. Me'ein Olam haba, similar, a glimpse of that which is coming in the next world. Eluhein, who are these three? Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Avraham dersev bakol, Hashem berachas Avraham bakol. Yitzchak dersev be mikol, and Yaakov dersev be kol. So three people, and Rashi points out the psukim, Hashem berachas Avraham bakol, but Yitzchak bakol mikol, and by Yaakov chayeshli kol. That lo chasru shom taiva, they were given me'ein olam haba. Continues the Gemara in the fourth line. Shleisha shalosh ben yitzahara. Three people yitzahara had no power against them. Eluhein Avram Yitzav Yaakov d'chsebahu bakol mikol and kol. V'yishaymim av David d'chseb libi cholal b'kirbi. David HaMelech, in which it says that my lave, my heart, referring to the yitzahara, has been cholal, has died within me. Ve'edach, and the first Tanu doesn't include David HaMelech. Sa'aro hu t'kamidkar. The pasuk libi cholal b'kirbi is David HaMelech talking about his suffering, and it's not referring to the death of his Yitzer Hara. Tanu Rabbanan continues the Gemara. Shisha lo shala ben Malach HaMavis. Six people of Malach Mavis did not rule over Ve'eluhein. Avram Yitzav Yaakov Moshe Aaron Miriam. Avram Yitzav Yaakov t'slavu bakol mikol kol. Moshe Aaron and Miriam t'slavu al pi Hashem. It says by them that they only died al pi Hashem, through the mouth of Hashem, meaning a misa of a nishika, that Kadosh Baruch Hu gave them the kiss, and that's how they were nifter. Ask the Gemara 1 second, from Miriam, no ksiv al pi Hashem by Miriam. Amar Rav Elazar, you know why? Miriam namina nishika mesa. In reality, Miriam did die via nishika. The asya shem mi Moshe, as we learn out sham, we learn out Gzir Shava from Moshe Rabbeinu. Meimalo nemar ba al pi Hashem. Why by Miriam did the pasuk not say straight up that she died al pi Hashem? Explains the Gemara, shegenayu adavar leimer. It's a genai to say such a thing. Kaviyachal, that a Kadosh Baruch Hu kissed a woman, kissed Miriam, how the sensitivity, how far it goes, and therefore we only learn it out from a Gzira Shava. Tanu Rabbanan Shiva loishalat behen rima v'taileya. 7 people, rima v'taileya, worms and maggots, did not affect them. Ve'eluhein, and who are they? Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Moshe, and Aaron, Miriam, Binyamin ben Yaakov. Binyamin, the son of Yaakov, the maggots after death did not bother them. Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, t'slavu bakol mikol kol. Moshe, Aaron, and Miriam, t'slavu al pi Hashem. Miriam, not really al pi Hashem, but sham. Binyamin ben Yaakov, t'slavu Binyamin Amar Yedid Hashem Yishkain levetach alav. That Binyamin was considered the Yedid, the beloved of Hashem. V'yishayim, and some say not only Binyamin but even af David HaMelech. T'chsev, as the pasuk says, af besari yishkain levetach, that my flesh, even besari, my flesh will yishkain, will rest levetach, securely. What does the first man Damar do with that pasuk about David HaMelech? David HaMelech was davening, he wanted that, but it wasn't saying that's what actually happened. Tanu Rabbanan continues the Gemara. 10 lines from the end of the parak. Arba mesu be'atav shel nachash. 4 people died only as a result of the nachash hakadmaini, meaning, says Rashi at the end, they were not fitting to die. Rather, there was just like a zera that they had to die due to the sin of the Eitz Hadas with the Nachash. Who are these 4? They never did an Aveir Ve'eluhein. Binyamin ben Yaakov, Amram Avi Moshe, Yishai Avi David, Ukilov ben David. Binyamin, Amram, Yishai, and Kilov. The Kulu Gemara, they're all the Kulu Gemara. They're all known through Gemara, through a tradition, except for Yishai Avi David, except for Yishai, the father of David. The pasuk says, the pasuk says, and Avshalom, Vesamasa, some Avshalom, and Avshalom put Amasa Tachas Yoav al Atzav on the army. Va'amasa ben Ish Ushma Yisera Yisraeli. Now Masha was the son of a man whose name was Yisra as a Yisraeli. Asher ba el Avigail, who came to Abigail Bas Nachash, the daughter of Nachash, Achai Surya, Aim Yoyaf. Says the Gemara, that's the pasuk. Chibas Nachashi. What's going on over here? Was she the daughter of Nachash, the Labas Yishai? Tachsev Achiyasam Surya Avigail. These were the children of Yishai. Elabas me, it calls her the daughter of the Nachash, of referring to Yishai. Misha Meis Be'atav Shal Nachash, he who died due to the advice of the Nachash, the four people that never did an Aveira. And of course, from here we learn a fascinating lesson. Binyamin, Amram, Yishai, and Kilav, certainly the four people who never sinned, but yet were those the greatest people. Moshe Rabbeinu! So could someone, is anyone greater than Moshe who spoke to Hashem upon him? From here we learn the incredible lesson, say the Bali Musar, that of course not doing a sin is the highest and highest of level. However, the highest were put in this world to accomplish. And if we are accomplishing, if we are becoming a Moshe Rabbeinu, the Manik, the leader of all of Klal Yisrael, he perhaps stumbled in the smallest of areas. That, of course, is our objective on this world. Hadron aloch hashutafin. Yes, we shall do an incredible chazara. And with that, we dive straight in to the second parak. Says the Mishnah. Mishnah over here with almost a first cousin. The first parak discussed how two neighboring fields, how they relate to each other, the fence between them. Now the Mishnah begins. Lo yachbar adam bar samach lebayrai shel chaveroi. The relationship, how you're going to do something that might affect your neighbor. You're not allowed to dig a bar near the bar of your friend, the pit of your friend, lo siach lamara, nor a ditch, a vault, a irrigational canal, nor a laundry pool. Ella imkain. The only time you're allowed to build these things is if you're here, you have to be 3 tfachim away from your neighbor's wall, visad basid, and apply lime to the wall. Because if not, you building these items in proximity to the wall, what's going to happen? It's going to wear away, and it could ruin and cause damage. Look at Rashi, Elim Kain, Rashi speaks out, it weakens the walls of the bar, therefore the only way you're able to do this is if you distance yourself to Tfachim and you cover the wall with lime, etc. The wall of your thing that you are building. Continues the Mishnah. One has the distance, the gefes, the olive refuse, the zevel, the manure, the samelech is the salt, the sasid is the lime, the saslayim, and stones, from the wall of your friend, gimel tfachim. Oi, or not oi, depending on your garis. Sad basid, and, we'll see the Gemara, to apply lime to the wall. Marchikin is azraim is a macharisha. One has to distance the zrayim, the plow, zrayim is the seeds that you're throwing, the macharisha is the plow, vesmeiraglayim, and the meiraglayim, if someone has used the bathroom, and I could Omar Chikin is a rechaim. You have to distance your mill shleisha min hashechev from the lower millstone. Shinarba min harechav, which is 4 tefachim from the upper millstone. Vesatanur shleisha min hakilya, and the tanur one has to distance from the base of the oven from his friend's field. Shein arba min hashafa, which is 4 tefachim from the upper rim of the oven. Examples that we'll see more in the Gemara B'siyata Dishmai. And we turn over to Yudzayin Amid Beis and begins the Gemara with the first part of the Mishnah, which was the items that one is building in potential proximity to a neighbor's wall, which could weaken and ruin that wall. Says the Mishnah, Pasach bebar u'mesayim bekaisel. Says the Gemara, I don't understand. The Mishnah began by a wall, and then it said, Elim Kain, you're marchi gimel tfachim from the kaisel. Listening, what should have said? It started with a bar, and then it said you have to distance gimel tvachim from the kaisel. What's going on? The Mishnah should have kept itself more consistent. Says the Gemara, Amar Abaye, answers Abaye v'itemer Rav Yehuda on the third line of Yitzayin Amid Beis. Mi kaisel bayre shanina means the wall of the bar. Why doesn't it say such? It's teaching us a chiddush that the standard pit is 3 tfachim wide. Nafkamina for what? When you're buying and selling, you tell your friend, bar I'm selling you a pit on its wall. So it has to be 3 tfachim. So the Mishnah, with its terminology, its precision, terech agav, teaches us this din of the standard size of a pit. Says the Gemara, Itmar. We learned. Haba lismaich besad hamotzar. Again, we're discussing building things near your neighbor's wall, your neighbor's field. Someone who wants to place haba lismaich besad hamotzar. Someone who's coming to place something near the boundary between his property and the friend's property. But at the moment, your friend doesn't have anything on his side of his property. Abai Amar Seimich, says Abai, if your friend doesn't have a well there, your friend doesn't have anything on his side of his property, you could go all the way to the wall. You don't have to worry about anything. Rav Amar, you're not allowed to. So fundamental machlek is that when the Mishnah said you have to distance from your friend's field, is that only when your friend already has something in his field, already has a pit there that you're distancing from, or even prior? Says the Gemara and explains the machlek is Abai and Rav. If one has a field which is used generally for pits, then of course you can't put it close, even if he didn't have his pit yet there. Why? It's not made for pits. There is no pit. So therefore you let him make your pit as close as you want to the wall. Rav Amar, no. Just like you changed your mind and you put a pit, even though it's not a field usually used for a pit. Ananami, the neighbor, can say the same thing. I changed my mind, and as well want to place a pit, and therefore says Rav, you should put it 3 tfachim away, even before he has his bar on his side of the wall. Yamri, a second lashon, says the Gemara, Besada Shenesu Lebayris Divrei Kol Saimich. Keep league. What's the machlek? You said that's Suyla Bayris. Abai Amar Saimich. Let put it close. I feel the Rabbanan Damri because even the Rabbanan that say Marchikin as Ilam bin Abar as V'Chamishama. That's only a hasud in the Kandata Isla Bar. That's because the bar is there. Avalach, but in our case, says Abai Abinna the Kachaver when you're digging your pit less the bar, so therefore you don't have to worry about it. Rav Amar, no. Einay Saimich. You cannot put it close. Why not? I feel the Rabbi Yasi Damar is that Chayver B'Zech Shalai Zenoita B'Zech Shalai. Each one can do their own thing. Says Rav. That's only on immediately Hazad the inner the kanata lesnayu l'sharasha of the maskili labar. The roots are not there. That's going to ruin your bar. The neighbor can say to you, "Kol mara umara." Each time you dig and you create your pit, the digging itself weakens the field, my neighboring field, and that's why Rava says even before he has his pit, you have to distance gimel tfachim. Says the Gemara Tanan, let's bring a raya. We're about smack in the middle of the Amud. The first word in line is La'arure. Tanan, one is not allowed to dig a pit near the pit of his friend. Time with dig a bar. Seemingly from this Mishnah says, because there is a pit. Like a bar Saimech, you can yes, but it's close by. So says the Gemara, we just had 2 Lashinis. So according to this second lashon, Damrit, that explains, if it's not made for a pit, everyone knows you can put it close by. So Masnisa, in the case of the Mishnah, simply very simple. According to the first lashon, Damrit, which said, what did the first lashon say? The machlekes is even if the field is not made for a pit. So Bishlam Abaye, it's nicha. Abaye fits very well because it says you got to put it close by. Rava kasha. So we have a kasha on Rava according to the first lashon from the Mishnah that says straight. You had to put 2. You had to dig close by. Rava will explain how it's Allah. We explained on that Mishnah. Doesn't mean right next to the field. It means you have to distance from the wall of the bar. And therefore it is discussing a case that there already was a bar, and therefore it's not a kasha on Rava. Another way of learning the raya of Itmar Allah Amr Abaya, we learned on that Braisa. Abaya explains it. Meaning now we're going in the way that Abaya explained it, and we're going to bring a raya. So of course, this is the exact opposite raya. According to the first lashon, if the field is made for pits, you can't put it close by. Masnisa, the Mishnah is going to be besada hasuya lebayrais, and that's why you put it close by, and that's what we're explaining because el bayrai. Elahach l'shadam besada hasuya lebayrais pligi bishlam l'rava nicha. According to Rava, it makes sense that Abaye explains from Rabbi Yehuda because el bayrai. El Abaye kasha, but according to Abaye, that you're always allowed to put it close by. What's going on that we have to explain that it's because el bayrai? They're both coming at the same time to dig, and that's going to be the case that we're explaining that has to be mikaisel bayrai. One last kasha on Abaye Tashema, 5 lines in the white lines. Sela hababi adayim, soil that is soft, that comes, that when one picks it up it falls apart. Zeh chayver bayrai mikan, zeh chayver bayrai mikan. Each one can dig on their side of the boundary. Babi adayim. So, excuse me, end of Brisa. So what do we see from over here? We see that both neighbors have to distance 3 tfachim. Abaye said if the first pit is not there, you do not have to distance 3 tfachim, but this Brisa seemingly says you have to. What's the answer? The answer is the Brisa is talking about a certain type of soil. Babi adayim shiny. Talking about a soft soil, and that's the reason why even Abaye will be masking. We have to distance gimel tfachim. But what was the havamina? We knew it was soft soil. Says the Gemara, the havamina was Babi adayim tzrichle. I would have thought tzachla demina keeping the Babi adayim. Libai nami rav chatfei. You would think maybe you need even distance more. Kamash Malan, that you do not. So trying numerous kashas and truths, we have not yet had a conclusive one. We'll pick it up from here. B'siyata dishmaya.